What's up, everyone? Chris from PickDogs.com here with your live show. We're coming here every day, giving you guys free picks. We're gonna try to hit all of our bets today. And if we don't, well, it's certainly not for a lack of trying. We've got a great group of handicappers today. Got tons of action on the board today and tomorrow. The only MLB action left before we get into the All-Star break. Got NBA Summer League action as well. Had some great Summer League action to kick things off yesterday. And, now we're going to get into a loaded weekend of action. Some great games on the card. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to bring in Wayne Scott to talk some Summer League as well. Wayne, how's it going?
What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Happy to be here on this Saturday. Ready to cash on the weekend, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, me as well. What did you think of yesterday's Summer League action?
I'm not going to be too critical on Wambe. He's young. I actually one of them people who like what I seen out of him defensively. I mean, the best of the best players in the world had bad offensive games, so I'm not going to be too high on what he did on offense. But great contest, great blocks, good on this. There's actually a lot of players that look pretty good. A lot of returning players from last year and some of the rookies that are coming in now. So we're a very talented group of guys, and I can't wait to see these guys suit up for the real season.
Yeah, I'm surprised that nobody said during the, like the draft events and all the stuff during the broadcast that Victor Wembanyama needed to put on a little bit of weight. Maybe he needed to eat a little bit because, man,
I'm trying to bully him.
I'm in no position to say this, but that dude's got to eat a little bit more. I mean, that's I didn't think he was that skinny. But I mean, man, just like Brandon Miller crossed over a pair of pipe cleaners. Anyways, we got you looking at some Summer League action today. What do you got going on today?
I'm give two plays today. I'm gonna start off with my baseball. We're gonna go with the over in the Cincinnati Reds in Milwaukee. Cincinnati 6-4 in their last 10 to the over. Milwaukee 73 to the over in their last 10. We seen the first game go over with pitchers who are better than the pitchers that play today. Corbin Burns, but yeah, Luke Weaver's on the mound. It's point blank simple. When this guy's on the mound, he gives up plenty of runs, 5-6 runs. Ray on the other side, he's had a better season, but we've also seen him give up plenty of runs too. I don't love neither one of these bullpens. The Brewers bullpens are playing better as of recently, but we've seen them get slapped around. And at 9, I love this. Coming up to 9.5, but I still love it at 9. I believe Reds can give that up on themselves, so I'm gonna go with the over in that game as my free play for the day on that. And in the Summer League, I just love the value. I mean, call me a home. I love the value on the Magic, man. You get plus 160 on them, and I do like the Detroit starting lineup. I do think the Detroit is putting out the better team on the floor. But it's the Summer League, man. Game 1 for them. I definitely see them. They can come in, slip, and give this one up. A lot of lethal three-point shooters on the Magic that we got in, and we're trying to bring on this team and display. I think these boys get hot. We got some great players coming off the bench. I'm not even going to name all these guys, but I do think we got a great chance, a way better chance than the odds is giving us to win this game. And to sprinkle a little money on the Magic today.
I think Wayne might have just found a new nickname for the Pistons. If they start taking people out left and right, we're going to start calling them Destroy. But I'll tell you, I've been looking up and down some of these Summer League rosters, and these are two loaded rosters. Like you said, for the Magic, they've got Anthony Black, they've still got Caleb Houston. This is a loaded team. I had no idea, and this isn't me, being ignorant to it. I just completely missed him here. I had no idea Tiger Campbell went to the Magic. He's been one of my guys since he was at UCLA. He's got that dog in him.
Yes, sir. I'm curious to see what he's doing off this bench, but we got some sneaky players that we had got after late after the draft, free agency pick up. And I'm curious to see what he's going to do too. Great guard. I think he can earn a spot on the team.
Yeah. Now the one thing I'll ask you is that, you made a great point before we went on the air. This Detroit Pistons team. I'm just asking for your opinion on this. This Detroit Pistons team you mentioned was a team that the good chunk of this roster outside of the rookies that you brought in, you know, we had guys like, you know, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Livers, you know, Jalen Durant, James Wiseman, you know, but this was a team that played a good chunk of minutes together last year when the Pistons were out of the playoffs. They knew that they were in one of the top 3 spots, and the Pistons were just trying to evaluate, take stock, and kind of see what they had. So are you all concerned about sort of the chemistry there, or
No, I am. I definitely am, Chris. It's not no premium play or nothing like that. It's more of a value play. I just think I see exactly what you see. Them guys playing together. I'm a big fan of Duran, big fan of Ivy, so I know what these guys can do. This is a great team. I believe that one of the teams that can win it all in this summer league. But it's game one. It's just a game that I feel like it can be close back and forth. I can maybe possibly see the Magic down 6-7 points and coming out and bringing it to the last shot at the end of the game, and you're getting plus 60 at a team where they can has a great shot to win this game. Give me the Magic. That's all this is for me. Just a value play.
I can't disagree. There is value. I think there's going to be value across the board on a lot of the summer league action. You know, this might be just one of those spots where if you've got like a few bucks, just put a couple bucks on all the underdogs and see if anything comes in, right? It's not like it's anything too serious. But anyways, we got Wayne, a couple picks here. Like you said, you got the Magic in NBA Summer League action as well as the over in the Reds and Brewers. What do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
At Pick Dogs Premium today, I have 2 plays, but I do not have none of them out for sale. So you will have to get on turn pass for you to see what bets I'm betting on today. I will have my play today out today. I just haven't got to it yet this morning. It'll probably be out in the next 20 minutes. But yeah, if you want to hop on my play today, search for it. It'll be there in the next 20 minutes. And let's continue to cash and continue to stack up on this MLB this year.
Yeah, like Wayne said, you know, the best way to go is a long-term pass. But he said he's going to have that daily pass up very, very shortly. We've been crushing it in Major League Baseball so far this season. So definitely, you know, the All-Star break's coming up, but you know, we got Christmas in July just around the corner, so definitely make sure that's something that you guys are going to be taking advantage of. But Wayne, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Nice talking Summer League, and hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll be on here tomorrow. Appreciate you for having me, Chris. I'm out here in Mississippi in a family reunion, but hey, anywhere I go, I find a casino. So if you guys, if anybody's in this Mississippi, Louisiana area, I'll be at Palace Casino. I love meeting you guys. I'm at a few of you guys in North Carolina casinos. So hey, I'm very approachable for the ones that come up, and I'm out here. Let's go. Let's cash.
All right. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. And Wayne Scott. Love talking NBA Summer League. It's for my first time dabbling into the Summer League, and we're going to keep that train rolling right along. I'm going to bring in Jay Briggs. Jay, what's going on?
Roof. What's up, my guy?
Not much, man. I saw you were kind of doing a jam session for the Summer League, and I was like, oh, man, I'm like, this guy just he wants to get back to the jam session so bad. We're covering Summer League, man. But that's okay. You know, hey, I'm not going to fault you for it. Preseason still exists. Summer League's still there for a reason.
Yes, sir. And they're giving me lines. And hey, I'm trying to find my spot. You know, we got like 6 or 7 games today. I think I talked about 3. 2-1 yesterday on the video. So try to go 3-0 today. I'm loving the Summer League right now. I know you were talking with Wayne a minute ago about Wembanyama. Some guys are really critical on what they saw yesterday. I'm not. I still think he said he needs some time to adjust. It is a different game, foreign to the U.S. game, a little more physical. Some of the shots he took probably should have fallen, and I think, we'll see them fall over the course of the season. Hot take. I know he didn't look good yesterday, but I'm doubling down. I think Victor Wembanyama has a great rookie season, and I think he gets the Spurs into the play-in tournament at the end of the year. We'll see.
Well, I guess getting roasted by the sauce on Twitter wasn't enough for you to shy you away from that. But I was saying to Wayne, and I kind of saw you chuckling in the background. I did not know Wembanyama had chicken legs like that, man. I thought, going to that steakhouse in Vegas and eventually, all the off-court drama, you would have thought maybe he would have had time to sit down and at least eat a meal, but it doesn't really seem like it. When Brandon Miller, when he took to the rim and Wembanyama fell, I seriously thought this guy was going to break both of his legs. I thought they were, it looks like he's walking on stilts.
Yeah, he's a skinny guy. You know, he's in Vegas right now. You can get just about anything you want out there. Hopefully, he gets a few good meals. Hopefully, no more celebrities try to run down on him, and hopefully, he gets it together. And I think the Spurs will be just fine.
Yeah, I think they will too. It's just like I said, Wembanyama gotta eat a steak. A gust of wind will blow this guy away. I mean, he'll fall through a crack in the floor. But anyways, we've got summer league action. Jay, what do you got going on for today? What do you got cooking?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna talk some more summer league. I'm gonna go to, I think, probably one of the more interesting games today. We got my favorite team, the Mavs, and we got the Thunder buddies, the cover buddies, as we called them during the regular season. I think it's gonna be a really good game, man. 2:30 ESPN2. Oklahoma City favored by 4.5, and I understand why the line is where it's at, man. The Thunder have legit NBA starters on their roster. Jalen Williams, the other Williams. I understand why it is where it's at, but I think my Mavs are probably the most underrated team in the summer league, man. We got Jaden Hardy. We have Mike Miles Jr. out of TCU, which I think is going to be probably one of the most underrated players in the summer league. I think he has a legitimate shot to show out and make a roster. We have our two rookies, Lively and Omax. I think this is going to be a really competitive game. And if they're going to give me 4.5 with this Mavs roster, I'm going to take it. Now, as I said on the video, I do think that the Thunder have a legit chance to win the entire summer league. I think their roster is that good. But kind of like Wayne said a minute ago, I think there's some value spots. And I think the Mavs keep this one very competitive. And I see this line steady going up, games at 2:30. So we might be able to wait, get a few more points. I'm seeing 4.5 currently. I would grab that with the Mavs, as I think this game is going to be super competitive.
All right. So upon recent check, the sky is still blue, and Jay is on the Dallas Mavericks even in summer league. It's okay. I mean, like I said, you know what? To be honest, I'm not surprised. I knew you were waiting for a chance the Texas Rangers can only, keep you so full, can only feed your appetite for so long before you got to start taking another Texas team. But now, you know what? Looking at the way these rosters are made up, I don't know if I'm very bullish on summer league. I'm taking a very light approach to betting it. I'm using this more as just research to just see what teams have and what they're rolling with the young guys on the roster. But like you said, this is a pretty good Dallas Mavericks team. I mean, I know Jay's covering college hoops, puts premiums out for college hoops. I've been writing college hoops pretty much since joining Mitch at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place, and I've been following a lot of these guys. And this is a talented Mavericks roster. Like I said, Mike Miles Jr. When he was healthy last year, he was the heart and soul of that TCU team. Maxon's Prosper, solid. Jaden Hardy, was only going to get better in his sophomore year. So
we seen him dominate the G League when he was there, and then had a good rookie season last year. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. If they're going to give me points, I'm going to take it. It's kind of my approach.
Well, yeah, what the Mavs have here, just looking up and down at the summer league roster, like you said, the Thunder have the game experience, the regular season experience, but the Mavericks have a bunch of guys that when they were in college were the best players in their team, sometimes in the conference, like McKinley Wright the fourth when he played at Colorado. But yeah, I think this is a solid team. It's going to be a solid matchup. So just because it's I don't blame you just because it's the Mavericks. I think this does have potential to be a pretty good game. So got Jay on the Mavs here, though. Again, no surprise. But anyways, what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Yes, sir. As of right now, I have my $19 MLB play of the day up there for sale. We cashed out yesterday on it. Everybody was fading my guy, me and Ruth's guy, Manoa, man. He came back off the trip down to AAA and had a nice game yesterday. Blue Jays got it done yesterday, and I'm trying to go back-to-back on my $19 play. So scoop it up today, and let's continue rocking out.
Crazy how we can go from Wembanyama, the thinnest guy on the court, to Alek Manoah. Maybe you can give him some tips on how to bulk up a little bit. But yeah, you got Jay. That $19 play been on fire. Jay been throughout the leaderboards in MLB over the course of the season. You're probably going to hear me say it for the rest of the show. It's a great time to hop on long term, but And we also got Christmas in July just around the corner. So check out that play today. Use it to profit, and then roll that forward and get something long term. It's one of the best times to do it. I know it's the All-Star break coming, but the winning never stops here at Pick Dogs, and Jay can attest to that. But
Thanks. Before I go, what did you think of Manoah yesterday?
Of Manoah, you know me, and if you watched the morning show throughout the last couple months, I have been a Manoah. I've died on that hill for Alek Manoah.
Thanks.
Said, he struggled. He looked terrible in that rookie ball, but he came back in Double-A, and then got the start yesterday, and he thrived. And I think it's people are like, oh, he's Ricky Romero. When Ricky Romero just lost it, never got it back. I'm on the other side of that. I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but Roy Halladay went down with a 10 ERA in 2000 and came back and won the Cy Young. So I think it's going to be closer to Halladay than Romero, but I was impressed with him. I'm happy. I'm thrilled. My autographed jersey has some value again. So
I'm not selling my Manoah stock. I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah, there you go. It's not like Enron. It's gonna come back a little bit. But all right, we got Jay on the Summer League. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And you're taking over hosting duties tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. I'll be back in the host chair tomorrow. I was moving houses, so kind of readjusting stuff, getting acclimated to the new place. But I'll be back in the host chair tomorrow. Thank you for taking it for me today. And how we do it here at Pick Dogs. We just trying to put out winners every day.
We just keep rolling, and don't worry, I didn't make too much of a butt groove in the chair, so you should be good. All right, Jay, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow, man.
Jay Briggs, always love talking NBA with Jay when I'm on the jam session, or now we're talking summer league, and we're gonna have to for the next couple weeks. Preseason be around the corner, and then you blink and it's October, and NBA regular season's back. It's just how crazy the weeks are flying by. We're already at the MLB All-Star break. But speaking of Major League Baseball, we're going to bring in David Racy to talk some baseball. David, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing all right. Like I said, still trying to wrap my head around some of the summer league stuff, and I'm still trying to come down from the high of the Manoah start yesterday. But I'm doing all right. And unfortunately, just had to be against one of the Detroit teams.
Oh, he couldn't give us one more bad one just to give me a little more hope in the AL Central. Come on.
Unfortunately, no. I'll take whatever I can get with Alek Manoah. Good or bad, I'll just take it however it comes. Doesn't matter who it's against, whether it was against the Braves or the A's.
Yeah, I've been clinging on to hope in this AL Central for this because it's just so bad. But losing 2 out of 3, I think, was the dagger. Right? They booted me off the bandwagon.
You know what? The sad thing is, though, that you could be 6-7 games out right now. That division is going to be wide open until potentially the last game. Both Central divisions. I mean, the NL Central a little bit better because you got the Reds and the Brewers.
That's more. I mean, the AL Central will put you to sleep. It's brutal, and I love it. Otherwise, to be like 15 or 20 out in these other divisions.
Yeah, 100%. But Dave, we got some MLB action from you today. What do you got?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the Yankees and the Cubs today. Cubs strong in game 1 yesterday. Nothing win. But I actually like the Yankees in this one. The Yankees, they haven't played very. They lost 3 in a row. They've been outscored 23-4 in those 3 games. But they are 20-22 at home this year, and they have ace on the mound with Garrett Cole. Cole's been very solid recently. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last starts. And the only start that he allowed more runs came against Texas, which obviously is one of the best offensive teams MLB. And if Cole gets pulled for whatever reason earlier than normal, that Yan has been terrific this season. They're one of the top bullpens in baseball, so I have faith in the world in them. When we're looking at, they've actually played pretty well recently. They've won 4 games. But they have not hit the ball very consistently this year. They'll go stretches where they hit it, and they'll go stretches where they just can't hit. And I think they're going to struggle with Garrett Cole here today. And Cubs are starting Smiley. He's allowed 10 runs in his last 2 starts, and he's really 3 of his last 4 starts. So I like the Yankees minus the 1.5 in this one. And then if we get some trends, the Cubs are 1-8. That's 9 in road games. While the Yankees are 18-6 in their last 23 interleagues. The Yankees have also to the Cubs here over the last 17 or 18 head-to-head meetings. I believe they have 13 or 14 in the last 18 meetings. So I'm taking minus the 1.5 here.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I went back and forth trying to make a reason to take the Cubs here, but there's next to nothing. Garrett Cole's just a better option here. The only thing I think you could say is that the Yankees offense has stunk since Aaron Judge went down, but yeah, the Cubs have almost been as bad. And I just obviously got to give the edge to Cole over Smiley. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Yankees? I mean, obviously like them today, but there's just no denying how bad this offense has been over the last month.
No, it's brutal, and it's not going to better. I mean, Judge is out. Obviously, he gets back. That'll help, but they need to go out and get a big name or two here at the deadline contend, because the pitching hasn't been the problem. It's that offense. But if they don't sign, or if they don't trade a couple of big name hitters, which I'm sure the Yankees, that's what they do. But if they don't, they're not going to do anything this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we've been waiting for them to do something since 2009. I've been trying to poke a stick at them, but yeah, well.
And it does help either. They're in the AL East. Talking about the Central is a cakewalk if you're a decent team. AL East. This division is 500. You know, the bottom is the Red Sox, and they're at 46 and 43. You know, so the Yankees are sitting fourth right now. They need to make a move because, you know, we're at the All-Star break and they're sitting in fourth place.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'm with you. Not a spot that you want to be in. The AL East right now, the best division in baseball. And if you told me that 5 years ago that was going to be the case, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. But right, we are where we are.
And in that same breath, they are in the wild card hunt. You know, have the extra wild card does help, but realistically, are we going to see 3 or 4 teams in the AL East make the playoffs? You know, probably not, because they're going to beat up on each other. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only that, you also got to consider the AL West. It's going to be a 2-horse race. So whichever team doesn't win that division, probably going to be
very true. Right.
So, anyways, we got David here on the New York Yankees on the run line. Some early afternoon action to get things going for you guys. But David, what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Yeah, today I have 5 premium picks in the MLB today. Today I have a variation of packages. If you want to get all 5, if you want to do 3-pack, I also have my best bet up there, $19. So how to know Pick Dogs Premium? Check it out. Not gonna lie, it's been a rough week or so for me in baseball. It's been a solid season overall. Also, look at one of those long-term. Look at pairing me up with one of the other cappers, because that's where you're going to find the value at versus just buying a packages. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium and let's big Saturday.
Yeah, like Dave said, this is a great Saturday. Take advantage of a long-term pass, or even if you just get the daily pass, use those profits, roll over into something long-term. We got Christmas in July just around the corner. So definitely make sure somebody take advantage of it. And, you know, struggles happen. Hot and cold runs happen. I can attest to that more than anybody. We all play to the back of our baseball card. And, you know, even if one's coming, that just means that a hot streak is right around the corner. So
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely make sure you take advantage of David's plays over Pick Dogs Premium, because he's been on absolute fire in MLB throughout the season. So one cold stretch isn't going to deter anybody. But, David, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you next week, or we'll see you throughout the week on the drive-through as well.
Nope, I'll be here tomorrow. I know you won't be in the captain's seat, but I'll be here with Jedi.
That's okay. Probably got a better shot of making it to shore safely if I'm not in the captain's seat. So, anyways, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Take it easy. David Race. You always love talking shop with David. So, you know, he's one of the fellow writers at Pick Dogs. You can find all of his free content over there, the article content. So definitely make sure you go and check those out. But got a couple more cappers on the way here. First, we're going to bring in one of my morning show co-hosts, Rod. Talk some Major League Baseball. Rod, how's it going?
Going good. How about yourself?
I am doing all right. I'm kind of waking up as the show goes on. So definitely had to keep me on my toes with some NBA Summer League to start things off. Who needs a cup of coffee when you have to wake up with Summer League? But
with some Summer League, right? That definitely will keep you on your toes and get you going early. Definitely.
Yeah. Did you keep an eye on any of the Summer League yesterday?
I looked a little bit at Grady Dick there. He kind of looked like Wembyama. A little few air balls went his way, but it looks like at the start he was a little bit hesitant. But game one, I think the future looks a little more bright than Bean. Then I think we call him Bean. Is that we're going to nickname Bean? String Bean is what he looks like. That was kind of scary looking. Yikes! The big gust of wind would look like it would blow him over, and it's like, oh no.
Well, that's exactly what I said. I said it looked like a pair of pipe cleaners that was attached to an eraser.
The pipe cleaner guy, when you make them in school, you make the little pipe cleaner man, you give him arms and legs. He's ready
or the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, inflatable tube guy. Yeah. Come on, pass me the ball. I'm open. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that guy, it just scares me with how skinny he is. But yeah. But anyways, we got you for some Major League Baseball today. What do you got on the board?
Now we're looking at the Reds taking on the Brewers here in this one, and the Brewers got game one. But we're gonna go with the Reds here to bounce back and get game two. Like Luke Weaver's on the mound, and the Reds have just won his last 7 starts. And they've done it in many different ways. You look the last time out, he went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, only gave up 2 runs. And there's other times that you see Luke Weaver starts and he gives up a lot more runs than that. But the Reds just seem to find a way to get a win when he's on the mound, winning his last 7 starts. And then on the other side of the mound, you got Colin Rea, and guess what? He's the same type of pitcher. He's a 4 ERA guy, no matter where it is. You look at his last 3 starts, and same thing. He's given up runs. He's given up some hits, and you put your team behind the 8 ball. But guess what? That your team battles and fights. When Reyes on the mound, the Brewers have won the last 3. So got a little pitcher's duel going on in the first half. And when it comes to the bullpens, it's almost a coin flip. When it comes to there, the numbers are almost identical between these two between the two bullpens. So, but the big difference for me is the Reds hitting. Reds are batting 250 versus right-handed pitching, while the Brew Crew's only batting 230 versus right-handed pitching. And the way the Reds are playing, I don't think you can beat them 2 straight. I think the Reds bounce back here, bats come alive and hit Ray a little bit and get enough lead. I think both starters could give up runs, so I kind of like the over. And we're going to go with the Reds and the over here in this one. Same game parlay. Just as the Brewers have left their last 7 games as a favorite has gone over the total. So I like the Reds and the over as the play here. Same game parlay.
Yeah, I like the Reds as well for the value. It was going to be a premium play for me, but just then watching sort of how they kind of folded up yesterday kind of scared me off. And I've never been much of a Luke Weaver fan, so it didn't take a whole lot for me. But I can see the angle that you're coming from here. Definitely worth a shot on the value. I think this should be lined closer to a coin flip. I can also tell you I'm not a Colin Rea fan. I think I could look at a lot of home run props in this game. I think this is a game where you bring the glove, and like I said, that's why you probably look at the over as well. Like you said, I think that's a great angle to take in this game as well.
Yeah, exactly. I like the over here because I think both starters are going to give up some runs, and the bullpens, well, they're good for about 3 or 4 on average. Are both these teams bullpens? So getting up on over that 9.5, I think we can get up over that 9.5 too. So, but I think the Reds come out on top the way they have with when he starts. They've been behind in a few games that Weaver has started, but the Reds reported on, came back, and got the win for him. So I like the Reds in the over in this one.
Fair enough. We got Rod on the Reds and the over in this game. Them individually or same game parlay, your choice, but definitely it's where the value is. But Rod, what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium today, I got my $15 bookie bomb. Hit another one with the Dodgers on the run line last night. 29-14, the last 34 on it. So head on over Pick Dogs Premium, scoop that up. Or you can grab that. It's in my 5-pack. I got 5 MLB plays I love today. So jump aboard those. Or as we've always said, grab that long-term pass and join me. We're going to have a great rest of July. I'm excited. I can't wait. That's slowly the sports start coming back.
Yeah, sports start coming back. You blink and all of a sudden we're going to have college football week 0 and NFL preseasons around the corner too. So yeah, definitely a great time to hop on long-term, take those long-term profits today. jump on some long term. We got Christmas in July just around the corner, so it's definitely something that you want to make sure that you take advantage of over at Pick Dogs Premium. But Rod, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow as well as throughout the week on the morning show and on the drive-through.
Hey, thanks for having me. Always a good time here on the morning show. Even behind the scenes. Wish we had one of the behind the scenes cameras because sometimes those catch some good stuff, and definitely we could have like the Pick Dogs blooper reels going forward. That would be definitely some entertaining content for these fine folks. Hit that thumbs up. Costs you nothing. Helps us at a time. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for having me, Chris. We'll catch you tomorrow.
All right,
or Monday.
Good. Yeah, true. All right, Rod. thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Got Rod Zawacki. Always love talking with Rod, especially on the morning show. We kind of get at each other, but it's all in good fun. But I only got a couple more cappers here in the green room. We're gonna bring on Mitch quickly before we get to Eric. And Mitch, how's it going?
It's going. Just one more day before the All-Star break, and it is the only days that we get off each year. My camera is a little crooked. Let's see if we can fix that. Yes, I don't know. I don't know if we fixed it or if we made it worse, but anyways, the All-Star break is really, it's the only days we get off all year. We got off during the pandemic, and that was rare, but the All-Star break is always that planned time off, and it's odd, but we're not going to fully take it off. We never do, but it's, we don't have to put in games, and Chris and I, do a lot of videos every day. We're not going to have to do, just that. I mean, there's a reason why Pick Dogs is the largest YouTube channel in the history of YouTube as far as sports betting goes. And that's because of the work that we put into it. And, I don't sit here and ever talk about, oh, we're so busy, we work so hard or any of those things. But I'm going to say that, to not have to, grind out, 8-10 videos, 2 live shows and everything else for at least a couple of days is probably going to be a good thing for us. And then, I'll come back and, we've got a lot of changes coming up and a lot of other things in the plans too. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, as am I. I know we talked about it a little bit behind the scenes, and yeah, I'm excited to see everything that's going to go on as well. Lots of things on the horizon at Pick Dogs as we make the chase for 1 million subscribers.
Yeah. And, we saw last week, we added the graphics to our weekday live show. We'll be adding the graphics to the weekend live show as well. We'll be doing it through, a similar system, the way that we do the weekday. We have the ability to do all that stuff. And it's just a matter of, coordinating it and getting it together. We always start, small when we do changes like that, see what works, what doesn't work, and then go from there. And starting July, I don't know what the date is, but not this Monday, but the following, I think Thursday actually is when we're going to start. Jay Briggs and I will be doing a daily football video / live show. So some days it'll be a live show. Some days it'll be a video. We're just going to mix it up and see how it goes, see what works best. But we're going to be doing that every day, 5 days a week at least. And then, of course, once the season starts, we'll be doing our halftime shows again. So I'm excited to get started with football. I think the thing about the football is that we're going to be doing it and we'll be able to mix in on, our NFL show. And then I also want to do a second level to that of college football every day. And, Chris, Ron, and I will be doing our college football show as well. So we have, I just want to go to 5 day a week coverage on those things. So I just think it would be more fun. More fun, more stuff. More stuff is more fun.
Yeah.
I hate the people less is more. I want quality over quantity. How about both?
Yeah,
how about both?
There you go. That's the Mitch Wilson I've come to know and love over the last 7 years that we've been working together. So anyways, but Mitch, what do you got going on the board today for the MLB?
For today's show, my show pick is going to be the Kansas City Royals. I had the Royals last night against the Guardians, and that one went bustorama on me. But the thing is that I think that in today's show, I think, I'm going to come back to the Royals again. Yesterday, we saw Lynch, and I thought he pitched pretty well, especially, he hasn't been that great on the road, and he really hadn't been too good in Cleveland. But, he gave up 3 runs. It wasn't like they made all these mistakes and they got blown out of the water or anything. If you score 0 runs, you're not going to win. but they allowed 3 runs. And, if you allow 3 runs and score 0 runs, you're really not going to win. And I think that's just what happened to the Royals. And I think today the Royals can get some runs on the board. I think, a little bit easier task today in Williams. Savali was just dealing yesterday. And it's like, you're going to get these any guy that pitches in the major leagues outside of Trevor Williams and Jordan Lyles, Rich Hill, Drew Smiley, and Zach Davies and Wade Miley. Well, I'd say Wade Miley even has a better chance of dealing, but any of those guys, you have a bunch of guys that can seriously play. I think Kyle Gibson, he's not going to do that to anybody anytime soon, but you know what I'm saying? It's like any of the top 3 starters in the rotation, any 1 through 3s in Major League Baseball can have a performance like Savali had last night. It doesn't mean they're going to reel them off. We saw them last week, like in that Minnesota-Baltimore series where Ober, throws a 2-hitter. Tarek Skubal went 4 perfect innings in his comeback. We've seen Kyle Hendricks, dominate at times. And then we see other games where, guys like Kevin Gausman just get bounced around the ballpark. But I think in this one, I think we have Singer, who is a guy that really we saw his worst of what he can do over the first half of the season. And then over his last 2 or 3 starts, we started to see him put his best stuff, the stuff that we know he's capable of. There's certain guys when you have a project team like the Royals are, and we weren't sure what the project was. I think that was a big problem for the Royals over the first couple of months of the season, was that they were a growth team, but even their own fan base couldn't see where the growth was going to come from. It was like, what exactly are we doing here besides getting pummeled every game? And I think now we're starting to see it. And I think as a person that follows baseball every day and handicaps, aside from just being a handicapper, I mean, someone that follows baseball every game and has to talk baseball, 7 days a week, whether I want to or not. I think having, and the Royals coming up in conversation from time to time, I'm not saying they're the topic, the head thing in the conversation, but they do. I'm sick of hearing, there's only so much. Well, they have Bobby Witt Jr. Can you do? I mean, with the Royals, he's one player on an entire organization. I mean, I don't know how many minor league teams they have throughout, but I'm going to guess they have 300 or 400 players in their system, including their major league team. So, if only one of them is good, you've got problems. But actually, Singer and Lynch, I think, are part of the solution and not part of the problem. And I think that these are the guys that are longer term. Or you deal Singer and Lynch and you try and get even more players that can help you. But regardless, I think Singer's going to put forth that kind of performance today to show what he's really made of and show why he is valuable either to the Royals organization or to somebody else that they're going to hijack. Because I think that we saw, what the value of a good young pitcher is. Basically, you want a good young pitcher, it's a rise for Pablo Lopez. I mean, that's the trade, right? That kind of defines it, right? So it's if you want that, that's what you have to pay for it. I mean, getting Pablo Lopez, it wasn't like trading for DeGrom. You got the National League, you got the American League batting champion, a guy that bats close to 400 for Pablo Lopez, who was tipping his pitches in Los Angeles last year and got knocked out of the building. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to take the Royals in this one. I just think that's where the value is. I think this game is going to be a tight one. And I think, when you have a tight game that could be close to a coin flip and you're getting plus 170, you got to take the 170 on a coin flip. If it's a 50-50 game and you're getting plus 170 on a coin flip, I'll take the plus 170 odds on tails any day of the week. Because we all know tails is the road team when you're talking Magic Penny.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time these two met, I think it was this week. I think we saw this starting pitching matchup back on June 27th, and it was 2-1. So it definitely, and it wasn't a game. It was scoreless through 7 innings. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the value's on the Royals here. Gavin Williams, to me, he's a rookie. He's had 3 starts. He's good, but he's been good. He's been good, but I don't think he's a minus 170 pitcher. At least not yet, even against the Royals. So yeah, like I said, if you could take a coin flip and get it at plus 150, plus 145, I'm all for it. I'm right there with you.
Who asked you? Anyways,
you did. Or sorry, you normally do. So I'm not used to being in this position. But what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Oh, we got it. World's best handicappers all lined up. We've got the Pick Dogs Dime Club. got all kinds of stuff. We got, just a couple days before the All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break, we come back, and what is it, 2 weeks before the NFL Hall of Fame game. So, while Chris and I get a few days off from doing videos, he's going to do the home run derby and the All-Star game videos. We know we've got NFL preseason videos coming up, and the hardest videos to make in all of videos are NFL preseason week 1, and even tougher NFL, because NFL preseason week 1, everyone, you kind of can get away with it, but NFL preseason week 3, now in the 3-week preseason and a 4-week preseason, it was week 4 was just, forget about it. Week 3, I think Chris might have to do all those videos, but that's what we're doing. And of course, as always, if you're interested in joining our team at Pick Dogs, we don't have a lot of openings right now, but if you do something different that we're not doing, and you think you can really add something, it's Mitch@pickdogs.com. It's not a Twitter direct message. It's not a YouTube comment. It's not, not any of those things. And it's not, I look to try and find the best value on the board. And I analyze statistics all day. All our cappers do the same thing. Every capper, that's one of the things that they do. It's like,
I can tell you, doing any of those things, DM, YouTube comment, are the fast track to not getting a position or
pretty much
getting considered for Pick Dogs. But
better off texting Eric.
I don't know if that's the response he wanted, but anyways, Mitch, thanks for coming on.
Feel free to text all resumes to Eric.
Oh man, Mitch, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Hopefully see you tomorrow, and if not, enjoy the mini vacation with the All-Star break.
All right, thanks for filling in on these weekends. And like I said, I think weekend style, we might, for NFL, we might go back to a round table. I'm not sure. And I think a lot of people like it. I don't know. Not sure.
It's in the discussion.
It's a long show.
Yeah, it is. That's where you have to get the drink and the coffee beforehand. You have to be prepared to settle in. But wouldn't trade it for anything.
Those are tough when I'm on the road. That's when those are tough.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, Mitch, thanks for coming on. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
Just leave the M&Ms alone in the green room, though. That's all I'm asking. Leave some for the rest of us.
When Eric starts rambling, just say, we've got technical difficulty.
All right. Thanks, Mitch.
What? I think Eric's frozen.
I was gonna close your window and be like, there's technical difficulties, but I might get fired at that point.
Have a good one, everyone. Make it a winning day.
All right, thanks, Mitch. Oh man, I was actually worried to click remove on that one, but you know what? He did just fine. But speaking of Eric, we'll bring in Eric, save one of the best for last. Eric, how's it going? We're not gonna.
Mitch have two things in common today. Let me lower the desk. Hold on. Has a mind of its own.
It's okay. We all do at this point. There we go.
I finally got the gear in the mail.
Nice.
All right, so I got my Pick Dog shirt on. But this is what I'm going to tell you, Chris. Before we talk about anything, why is it that the only 2 people on this live broadcast that have any background material is Mitch and myself? When are we going to get some artwork?
I'm trying. Hey, you know what? All I'm going to say is I've gotten the riot act about it, so I am working on it. I have.
It doesn't have to be sports related. I know.
I'm
an audiophile. I'm a music nut. It doesn't have to be sports related. But man, come on, guys.
I'm working on it. Trust me. I'm gonna have something up in the next couple of days. I just believe it or not, I tried putting something up and the anchor didn't hold. So now I got a nice little hole that I got to fill in as well in my office. But that's okay. It's gives me a pet project for the MLB All-Star break.
So let me ask you something. A gentleman by the name of Daniel on the chat, because I can read Hebrew. He's obviously in Israel. He asked, and I want to ask you because I'm not following I don't get into the handicapping. He asked, in Europe, they weren't enthusiastic about Victor. He was a mediocre player in the French league. Why in the United States are they giving him so much love? So I'm just curious, since Daniel chimed in from across the pond.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you see a guy that's 7'3" that can, take, shoot from outside, or not even 7'3", 7'4", 7'5", that can shoot from outside, that can take a three, miss his own 3-pointer, but get an offensive rebound and slam in the tip. That to me is just, he's a unicorn. But again, we've seen tall guys like this that haven't necessarily resorted to a whole lot. Yao Ming was the first overall pick. He didn't come through. He came through, but he didn't have a long career. Same thing with Sean Bradley. So there's definitely a market for him. We'll have to see if he ends up being the unicorn. Kristaps Porzingis was another one that comes to mind. But yeah, so we'll have to see how that shakes out. But yeah, I know we're going to talk about it in a little bit as well. But how are things going with the Dime Club?
So, like I said, the Dime Club, the dogs have been doing well. The favorites have been basically had a small losing week last week. It's part of the game. I was actually doing an analysis up to yesterday. We were 40-40 in the last 80 on this last little 30. It's high volume, 40-40 in the last 30 days on the favorite channel, down about 7 units in the juice. And long term, still up 20 units since the beginning of the inception. But this is what I tell people is that, the favorites, it is really hard to win on the favorite side. And I've been saying this in the videos daily. I've been giving out a dog basically of the day, every day. I had the Baltimore Orioles last night from a system scenario. But I got to tell you, this is what I've been saying for years. And before we get into preseason, is that if given the opportunity to make a wager and left to your own devices with no information, no stats, no handicap, just take the dog. Literally pick dog. Pick dogs. Pick the dog. Literally, last week, Chris, if you bet every dog from Monday to Sunday, you were 48-49. And if you risked $1,000 on every game, you made $14,000. Down one game, you flip it. Last week, if you bet every favorite to win 1,000, you were 49-48. You were down $26,000. Up one game. So I've been saying this for years. The irony is the name of the site is Pick Dogs. And my motto is basically Pick Dogs.
And it's appropriate that you're here with us at Pick Dogs based on that. But,
yeah, for instance, you have 4 teams today.
Yeah.
If you had no information and you just, what should I do? You just bet Detroit, Colorado, Oakland, and the Mets. You're going to go 2-2. That's the stats long term. You're just going to go 2-2. Detroit plus 185, Colorado plus 180, Oakland plus 205, Mets plus 150. But what I was going to say is regarding, I'll upload a video after this. Streaks have been very powerful right now in baseball. What's messing a lot of people up with their handicapping is it has been very streak laden. You got right now in the top of your division, like I said in yesterday's video, Tampa Bay's lost 6 in a row. And then you have Mets have won 6 in a row. And, so when you look at these such scenarios, you should keep the streak in mind when you're handicapping and not be so pitcher obsessed. And I know I get a lot of flack for that, but from a professional betting syndicate point of view, like I say, and I'll say it, Mitch has already said it, every time you bet on a baseball game for 9 innings, you're betting on your quarterback for the first half of the game. They're going to make a line on a game today, and they're going to say Oakland should be the other team playing Oakland, whoever they're playing, is going to be laying $250. Well, bet the first 5. He's not in at the end. So, again, the struggle has been on the favorite side. Dogs, I'm up 19 units for the season, down 40 games. And you have teams in the top of their division that you can basically see it is mind-blowing when you look at the numbers. You look at teams that have the same exact record, and it doesn't matter because of the money line. So when you look at Arizona and you look at the Dodgers, as we discussed last week, they're basically battling for top spot. The records are the same, Chris. 51-38 for Arizona, 50-38 for the Dodgers. Arizona, you're up $946 for the season. The Dodgers, you're minus $312 for the season. Same record. Look at Tampa Bay against the Orioles. Tampa Bay's favorite to win the the World Series with Atlanta, 57-34, 52-35. You're up $170 if you bet on Tampa Bay every game. You're up $1,200 if you bet on every Oriole game. I sound like a broken record every time I come on these live shows, but I really feel, especially the new legalized sports bettor that hasn't been doing this for 35 years, they get stuck laying these heavy prices, and they don't understand that you just can't win if you're going to bet against Oakland and lay 250 long term. You might win an individual day, but you're just not going to win long term.
Yeah, fair enough. But I know one of the teams, one of the teams you mentioned over the 4 underdogs that you were looking at. One of the teams that you wanted to talk about today. What do you got for a free pick for us today?
So I'm gonna put this out if you guys missed this here live. The Mets is my free selection. You don't step in front of a winning streak. You look at the value of the streak, not the value of the pitcher. I'll say it again. The pitcher is absolutely meaningless to what I do here at the Dime Club. You don't get in front of that upward momentum. Team is positive, cohesive going into the All-Star break. The number one winning streak in all of baseball currently right now. They're going for their 7th in a row. You just take the dog. You just take the plus 50 cents and you just roll with the Mets. And it is what it is. And if you've been doing that through the whole streak, even if you lose, who cares? So you're 6-1 in the last 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely where the value is. For me, I know you said you don't factor in starting pitching. That was just a stay away game for me because, like you said, I don't want to step in front of this Mets team that's finally playing like the way we expected them to. But at the same time, for me, Blake Snell has just pitched out of his mind, and this is a guy that could set up the Padres to potentially steal it late once he leaves the game. So it was one that I didn't consider for the premium side, but I could definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I do have one premium play posted. Obviously, if you're a Dime Club member, as Mitch said, if you want to send your resume, you can send me a text message to 775-636-7676. I'll take all the resumes you guys need. But here's what I will tell you. Where do I live, Chris? Do you remember where I live?
You said Baltimore, Maryland.
Mitch said post All-Star break, he's going to start doing preseason videos. He said they're the hardest videos to do. I'm going to tell Mitch right now on the air, you don't need to do any videos for preseason. You just tell everybody, bet the Ravens every preseason game. They are 19-0 in preseason. They are 19-0 against the spread in preseason. They have not lost a game for 4 or 5 years in preseason. They have not covered a game for 4 or 5 years in preseason. Just bet the Ravens. Forget about every other team. Every week, Ravens. You go 3-0. Instead of them being 19-0, they'll be 22 or 23-0, and then you just get ready for regular season. There, I just gave you the whole preseason.
To be honest, as soon as you said, NFL preseason, I was like, oh, he's going to talk about the Ravens undefeated. So
how can you not?
I'm pretty sure, though, I could be wrong here, and trust me, far be it for me to try to overrule a guy from Maryland. I thought it was longer. I thought we had already broken into 20. I could be wrong, but either way, that's a heck of a...
I Googled it before.
Oh, did you? Okay.
No, I'm looking at. I'm not. So I thought it was more. The last time the Ravens lost a preseason game was in 2015. They have currently won 19 preseason games in a row. And they have the actual, as if it means anything, NFL record. Mike in my office, who runs the Telegram with me, we shake our heads every year. Like, they can't make the line high enough, whatever the line is in preseason. And these guys go out and they play like it's the Super Bowl in preseason. I don't understand how you can win 19. And trust me, now they know they're marked. They got the chip on their shoulder for preseason. It's like their badge of honor. They want to see how long they can continue the streak. They snuck by against the Washington Commanders. They won 17-15 to end the season at the last game they played last year. Obviously, there's one game less of preseason. So it is, but it's an interesting stat. You can't overlook it. Obviously, from a value point of view, you're going to make more money fading the Ravens in all seriousness because the line makers are going to jack up the number, whatever it is, knowing this stat that you know, I know, and everybody knows.
Yeah, fair enough. But what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs today? And let
just
everybody
one
know.
game on the premium. If you want to find out about my Christmas in July promotion, which I've been talking about on the video, send me a text at 775-636-7676. The promotion is very simple. You purchase football, you get the remainder of baseball through the World Series absolutely free. So you just got to call me, see if you qualify, send me a text message. We'll set up a call. This is not for everybody, as Mitch has been saying over and over and over again. And I got to tell you, obviously, Mitch has said it. And, to give Mitch his accolades, I have never seen someone with an audience that he has. In the beginning, I was getting blown up with text messages. I want the Dime Club. I want the Dime Club. A lot of people are making that initial text message, especially on the nights that I'll win a free game on the YouTube video. There's a direct correlation, right? But then I say, well, what's your bankroll? And the guy says $400. No disrespect. Go to the website, purchase the premium plays, take advantage of the guarantees, build up your bankroll. It is not for people that are not properly funded and can't handle that long-term approach. As you were talking to one of the cappers earlier, streaks happen, good streaks happen, bad streaks happen. I'm more in the position of money management is more important, that you can weather the storm. So if you're only working with $400 and you're betting $100 a game, sorry guys, you got to wait and build it up.
There's definitely a group that the Dime Club is for, and like Eric said, if it's not for you, that's not to discourage you from taking advantage of anything at Pick Dogs. There's just tons of great cappers, Eric included. He does tons of great work at Pick Dogs, Dime Club, as well as the other premium selections. So definitely make sure it's something you check out. And like you said, the Christmas in July special, definitely.
Well, by the way, your Toronto team, 4-game winning streak. How are you feeling about that?
To be honest with you, as safe as passing gas after Taco Bell. Not very safe. Not safe at all, because you know what? This was a very similar position that we were in last season. And we made the playoffs, but it lasted all of 2 games and didn't really work out. So there's things this team needs to fix.
Do you remember what year? I actually watched the game with a Canadian in Las Vegas. He was the CEO of Don Best. We went to the casino. We watched the wild card playoff game between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles. Do you remember what year? It was a 1-game playoff.
It was either
you guys won. You beat me.
I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I remember sitting.
Was that the game? Was that the game that went like 16 innings?
Yeah, it was. We had a dinner. We had a dinner bet, and it was Toronto against Orioles sudden elimination, and I remember that vividly.
So funny story, and I'll tell you this before I let you go.
Yeah.
So funny enough, my fiance and I, we had just gotten together at the time, and we're sitting there. She had just gotten into baseball because of me. She started to enjoy it. She's watching baseball. She comes home. We're sitting on the bed, and every time we're just sitting there watching the game, she's sitting up, something bad would happen. She would lie down for 5 minutes. All of a sudden, the Blue Jays took the lead. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then she sat up again. And I think I can't remember who it was. It was someone from the Orioles. They hit a double. I'm like, you lie back down. And she ended up lying down till about midnight. She got home at about 8. She didn't get up for 4 hours. I felt bad, but I was like, this is what has to be done. So, but I remember that game very well. And I thought you were going to mention the Rangers game with the Jose Bautista bat flip, but that's
no. At the time, I was in Vegas, and the CEO is Canadian, and he said, let's watch the game. You're from Baltimore. You're in town. Whoever wins pays for dinner. So we went to the casino, and of course, I paid for dinner.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't fault you for that, but sounds like I got some texts coming in. So hopefully, those will eventually be some Dime Club future Dime Club members. But Eric, thanks for coming on. Appreciate having you, and we'll talk soon.
I'll see you tomorrow. You got it. Bye-bye.
All right. Sounds good. Take care. Eric Pathy. Love talking with Eric. I could probably go on and on talking about the Blue Jays and just how much of an upset stomach this team gives me on a daily basis. Heartburn, acid reflux, the whole nine, you name it. But anyways, we got, I don't want to say save the best for last, but you know what? You guys are stuck with me for the next couple minutes. I'm going to give you my play. And I'm going to go to this matchup between the Marlins and the Phillies. And to me, this is just shaping up to be an absolute pitcher's duel. You got Braxton Garrett, who's definitely emerged as probably this season's staff ace for the Miami Marlins. You could definitely throw Yuri Perez in that conversation. But again, got to remember, Yuri Perez, still a rookie, still very, very young and green in his major league career. Braxton Garrett, 4-2 record, 3.61 ERA on the season. And he's really just had a great, last couple of months. I mean, this is a Marlins team that's 13-3 and Garrett's 16 starts this season. You go back to May 14th, a 10-start stretch. The Marlins as a team 9-1 in his starts. Garrett putting up a 2.26 ERA. He's going to have his hands full against a Phillies team that's won 13 games in a row on the road. But if there's anyone that can shut him down, I think it could be Braxton Garrett. But you look at the other side, Ranger Suarez is going to be no easy task for the Marlins to try to figure out. This is a Marlins team that's still playing with some confidence. They're 12 games above 500. But Ranger Suarez, I gave this guy flack coming into the season. Wasn't a big Ranger Suarez fan. Got lit up last time out by the Washington Nationals. But prior to that, he'd given up 2 runs or less in the previous 6 starts, 1 run or less in each of the last 5 before that blow-up start. And it's in 4 career starts against the Miami Marlins, a 3-0 record, a .82 ERA. He's given up just 2 runs over 22 innings of work. You could take the first 5 under in this game if you're like Eric or even Mitch, where you don't want to bet on any bullpen action. But I think we're good with the full game here. I could definitely see a very similar result to what we saw yesterday. It was a 4-3 kind of game. So I would look at the under between the Phillies and the Marlins. Now for me at Pick Dogs today, only got one play up for sale, my $19 pickoff play. Had a bit of a rough one yesterday. The Reds decided to, implode on me and make Corbin Burns look like a bit of a god, and give him a couple of breaks in that game. But again, we dust ourselves off, pick ourselves back up. There's only a couple more days to take advantage of it before the All-Star break. I'm ready to go on a heater as we head into the All-Star break, come out of it strong. So definitely make sure you check that out. And also take advantage of the long-term passes, whether it's today, got Christmas in July just around the corner. It's definitely something you want to make sure that you check out. If you have a long-term pass, you're also getting a bonus Major League Baseball play today. That's where some of the cappers maybe do that, and you get extra value for having a long-term pass. So definitely make sure that's something that you check out. Before I let you guys go, I see Lando here asking if I'd like anything in Gold Cup this weekend. Honestly, that tournament has been just such a disaster for me to try to figure out. When Canada comes out, a Canada team that made the World Cup that I watch very closely, and they tie Guadalupe. I have no idea. I want to say they'll beat the U.S. because I'm not all that high on this U.S. national team, but again, I'm just so disillusioned with this Canada team. Maybe put a future on Mexico to win the tournament. They're usually a solid bet. It's usually a Mexico-U.S. final, so I'll take that for what it is. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the cappers for coming on and helping me out today. We had a great time. Went an hour and 3 minutes. I didn't know if we were going to be able to go an hour 3, but hey, we made it. We got there. Remember, check everybody out over at Pick Dogs Premium. I can't stress enough. You guys have great handicappers coming on giving you free picks, but if their free picks are this good, you can only imagine what they're giving out over at the premium section. So make sure you guys check that out. And Jay Briggs will be back in the hosting chair tomorrow. So we'll see you guys soon. Make sure you check out all the free content that we have up today. The game previews, my home run prop videos up there, Jay's jam session for the summer league. Eric's got videos, Nick's Nerfies. Like I said, tons of options for you guys. I think Brad's got a 3-leg parlay up there as well. So make sure you go on over and check those out. But thank you so much for tuning in, and let's cash some tickets on Saturday.